Hello, podcast listeners. Welcome to another great episode of Podcast with Gautam and Jin. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Jin Vanstee, and with me is my co-host Gautam Siwach. Today, we're excited to have Sonia Singh. Sonia created and runs the IBM Canada Technical Meetup Group, which delivers weekly sessions on a variety of technical topics. She also created and runs the IBM-internal Data Science and Data Engineering Community and Guild. She runs user group sessions, and she's the Canadian focal for the IBM Data Science Elite team and manages the IBM Ottawa Machine Learning Hub. Sonia has a degree in computer science and certifications in both project management and data science. Her experience includes software development, user interface design, customer research, people management, project management, operations management, data science. Her IBM tenure of 16 plus years also includes a corporate service corps assignment in Malaysia, which provides high-performing IBMers with quality leadership development. So Sonia, welcome to a podcast.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
So that's quite a resume you have. And your title now is Data and AI Engagement Program Manager. Can you tell us what does that exactly mean?
That's a really good question. I get asked that a lot. It is an unusual title. So my role was created a couple of years ago, and the intent was to increase the level of engagement between the IBM Ottawa lab, where I reside, and our broader community. And in the context of this role, I do a variety of different things. One of them is that I've created and run the technical meetup group that you described. And it's been really successful as a result of the variety of technical topics that we deliver and the consistency of doing 2 repeat sessions every single week. The members of this group come from a variety of different backgrounds, including academia. We have professors and students join us, and we have members from both the technical and the business side as well. And we have members from across the world. And the reason that we offer our sessions as 2 repeat sessions is that we've now had a lot of interest from members in Europe and Asia. So we do an early 8 a.m. Eastern session on Wednesdays, in addition to our regular 3:30 p.m. Eastern time session on Thursdays. So that's one of the things that I do that I'm really proud of, and it's been a real success. I created the new group last year in February, and we're already at over 3,000 members. The other thing that I do is I created and run an internal to IBM Data Science and Data Engineering Community and Guild. I initially created it on my own as a community, and we had about 300 members, when another organization approached me and said that they had started something similar as a guild and noticed that my community was much further ahead in terms of the program and content I was delivering, and proposed a merger. So we decided to go ahead and merge it, and now I run it with the 2 additional leaders from the other organization. And it's been really exciting because this collaboration has helped me to bring more value and more learning opportunities to a broader set of IBMers across the world now. In addition to all of that, I also work with our sales and product management teams to run user group sessions. And I, until recently, have also been involved with being the Canadian focal for the Data Science and AI Elite team. And so this role is really exciting for me because it helps me bring value and technical content to a broad range of communities and community members, both within IBM and outside of IBM. And I'm having a ball. I love it.
Awesome. I think this is great. And can you also share with our audiences what has your IBM journey been like?
So I joined IBM back in 2006, first as a contractor working on user experience design. And then 6 months later, I joined IBM as an employee, and I managed the user experience design team for a few years. After that, I've had stints in project management, in operations management, And now what's really exciting is that all of those skills that I learned along the way, both at IBM and before IBM as well, I've been able to bring all of those previous experiences, all those skills and learnings together for my current role. So, you know, my project management comes in really handy. My technical background comes in really handy. My data science certification as well. So, it's been a real positive journey. And the other thing has been that IBM really supports continuous skill development and learning. And through that whole path, I've also gotten my PMP certification, my data science certification, and a variety of badges. And most recently also earned a Blue Core Coach badge. So that's been part of my journey. The other thing that I'm really excited about is, as Jin had mentioned earlier, about the IBM Service Core. And so high-performing IBMers have this unique opportunity to participate in a variety of different assignments, which is very similar to the Peace Corps, but it's in the business world. And my assignment, which was a number of years ago, took us to Malaysia for 4 weeks. It was a team of 12 IBMers. And my sub-team worked on revamping the website and payment process for a worldwide youth foundation organization. And then just recently, actually, as of last week, I recently got accepted for my second IBM Service Corps assignment, which is really exciting. This one is virtual. And for this one, we'll be revamping the website for an organization that delivers valuable tools and resources for Indigenous businesses. So my journey at IBM has really been very exciting. I'm more of I'm not a specialist as much as more of a generalist. So it's really allowed me to try on different skills, different roles, and find a niche that I'm really happy with, and where I can really bring all of my learnings together, and at the same time I can help others and continue to learn.
Thank you. And with that, what are your biggest hopes and fears for us as a civilization and use of technology?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, there's been challenges on both sides in terms of how we're evolving as a civilization and how we're using technology. So I'm going to kind of address both of them separately. I mean, until recently, I believe that it was our collective hope as a civilization that we would continue to improve and that future generations would continue to see, you know, a better life, and that we would just overall grow towards having everybody having, you know, greater benefit, greater health and lifestyle for more and more people across the world. And it's unfortunate that recent events have been challenging to those hopes and expectations, both in terms of human behavior and also in terms of how we're leveraging technology. Now, speaking about the technology aspect of it, again, it brings great hope and promise for an improved life for everyone, for more access to information, and for technology to take care of the mundane activities while we humans could focus on some of the more interesting tasks or the mentally challenging tasks that we would enjoy doing. Needless to say, technology needs to be used wisely, and we need to make sure that the implementations account for good use of the solutions that are developed. For example, AI needs to be used ethically. We need to ensure that all outcomes that come from AI solutions are free from bias and are explainable, and that AI is trustworthy and transparent. Now, in the intersection of both of these, right, the humanity and the technology, is that we as humans, I believe, to continue to strengthen our critical thinking skills, which I fear is a dying trait. We need to continue to be open and curious and to engage in dialogue to understand various points of view. Because if we do that, then that allows us to build better technical solutions and allows us to ask all the right questions. And when we do get the answers from these systems, it will allow us to explore that information that we receive using critical thinking. And I think that's a key thing that we need to ensure that we continue to build on rather than to lose as we go forward. And I really admire IBM's commitment to the human advancement by creating the AI 360 framework, which, by the way, is accessible to anyone at no cost and helps organizations build trustworthy AI. Another thing that IBM also did was discontinue the development of facial recognition to make sure that it wouldn't be used for purposes that would not be of benefit for humanity. And I really think that when we put it all together and we look back at the history of IBM, IBM's been around for 100 years. And I'm really proud to be an IBMer because of all the advancements that they've taken and all of the awareness that they've built around this positive use of technology and how we can all leverage it for our collective good. And the thing that I really like, especially in my current role, is that I get to share information about all the cool and interesting technologies that we work on. And I get to shine the spotlight on some really smart IBMers through all the communities that I interact with, through the meetups and other sessions that I set up. And I just love being here. So I think that, to answer that question overall, for us as a civilization and for how we use technology, I think we just always need to continue to be aware of what we do and how we approach it. And we need to continue to apply critical thinking.
Building communities from scratch, being at the center of them, and adding continuous value as a coach. This is a very exciting outlook and a great portfolio to highlight through life at IBM. And our speaker today was Sonia Singh, talking about hopes and fears with emerging technology and about her journey in corporate world. You were listening to podcasts with Gautam, Siwach, and Vanstee. Keep supporting, keep sharing, and thank you for listening.